Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. Starting off today by thanking one of our show sponsors. We couldn't do it without Christiana Salon Spa. They do everything. You guys, you got to go in and get pampered. Do you want a facial? Do you want a massage? You want to get a whole new hair look? Oh my gosh, they can do it all. They also work with men, and it's just your one-stop shop for everything pampering. So maybe you're celebrating that you made it to the end of another school year, or maybe you are like me and you are preparing for a long summer with the children. All you got to do is go see my friends at Christian Salon and Spa, and they're located in Johnstown, right by Shields. Go see them today and mention Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends, and you get 10% off.
It does it on its own. I have it recording two separate things.
Does it
So
really?
that way you can, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening today to Sadie and Shawn Have No Friends. Our presenting sponsor, Talent Co. Real Estate, we want to give them a big thank you because without
I want to
Amy,
give them a big hug.
yeah, Amy, steer clear of this situation, but Shawn wants to give you a big old hug. We just think she does amazing work. Go to homeandnoco.com to see some of her listings. You could actually take these like I feel old, 360 tours. I love this because it used to be you would have to pretend you were interested in a house to go in and look at and be nosy. And now there's technology where you don't have to do that.
You just like the fact that you don't have to leave your house.
I love that too. I love that too.
I still do kind of like being nosy though. The other day I went to my sister's kid, so I guess it's my niece's birthday party, and it was at a park, and there was an open house going on right across the street. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I have no desire of moving right now, like we're good. But I kind of wanted to just go look in this house. It kind of looked like a shitty house, and so it made me want to go look even more. I didn't, but I wanted to.
You didn't? I thought your
No.
story was going to end with, I would have walked across the street and been like, give me one of those papers. Did you know that like sometimes I used to much more, but watch like $1 Million Listing.
Yeah.
It's a yeah. So
I
these
like those
amazing shows, or houses, but a lot of those, they have to do a bank account check before they will even let you walk through the house.
Oh,
Because
just
so
to
many,
look at it?
just to look at it, they have to know that you have a certain amount of money in the bank, or else if you think about it, they're kind of wasting their time.
Well, they usually have like good food and stuff at those kind of open houses too. Like you go in there and it's like a full seafood buffet. And so that's probably, I have some good friends that are millionaires though. So I bet they'd give me the login to their bank account. They wouldn't give me their card. Like I'm not going to be able to spend their money, but they're not ashamed to let me like show off their bank account. So I'd be like, hey, bro, I want to go check
What are
out
you
this
gonna do?
$1 million house and I want
You
some crab legs. Can I borrow your bank account information? They do it.
No, I think there's like an entire process according to this show where if you want to go see like a penthouse that's like $20 million, you have to prove that you are in the market for this. And you know what else is fascinating? This is a level of like wealth that I can't at all relate to because this is crazy. But on those shows like $1 Million Listing, they will have people come in and want to buy these homes, and they will say, it's not for me, it's for my client who lives in Brussels. And they just want, and so I'm doing the walkthrough. And essentially, these people are so rich, they have like minions who go around and do shit for them, like look at houses and say, I think you'd like it. Here are a bunch of pictures. I went house hunting for you.
What an
And I
easy
think that's
job.
crazy.
I kind of want to be that minion. I mean, you can't mess up. It's not like you're going to get them a shithole if they've got $40 million to spend. It's
And it
pretty
would be
foolproof.
fun. You'd get all those crab legs, Shawn.
Yeah, that's the job. I've been trying to debate like what I want to do in my future life, and maybe that's it. Maybe rich people minions.
I would totally be a rich person minion, but it would
Yeah.
have to depend. Like J-Lo, I'm out because I think she'd be a biatch to work for. But like, who would be like somebody that you
Adam
think,
Sandler.
yes,
I'd
or
go
like,
buy him a house.
or like Emma Stone. I'm talking about like full on being a personal assistant. Could you do
No,
something like that? You're not into that?
Mm-mm. No, because I feel like even like the Adam Sandlers of the world, when you're that famous, there's gonna be some quirks. There's gonna be some weird stuff, and I don't wanna deal with that. I don't wanna deal with the
I'm gonna
weird stuff.
go, you know what? Tom Hanks.
Oh, he would definitely have some weird quirks.
No. Oh, Dustin Hoffman. I actually know somebody. This is kind of like a purple monkey dishwasher story, but I know somebody whose aunt for years and years was his personal assistant, Dustin Hoffman, and she still talks to the family. They just love each other. They're wonderful people, I guess.
I know the guy who was the personal assistant to Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. He was actually there.
Oh,
They have a ranch in Aspen, right? And
and you were
he
there?
well, no, I haven't. He did invite me though, because
Shut up.
they still have the ranch in Aspen. He's no longer their ranch hand or whatever he was. He took care of the whole ranch and was their personal assistant, got to know them really well. He left to pursue music in Nashville, which I'm like, you're an idiot, bro, but good for you.
Shit.
He's a really good musician, and so good for him that he believes in himself that much. But I'm like, dude, just stay in Aspen, keep working with Kurt and Goldie, get rich, and then go to Nashville, or have them like build you a
Yeah.
studio and don't ever go to Nashville. But that's beside the point. He invited me. They still have like New Year's parties and Christmas parties. They spend the holidays at their ranch in Aspen. And this last year, it was last minute, and he was like, "Hey, you want to go to the ranch for New Year's Eve?
I
I have
can't
a
believe it.
family.
I
It's
don't give a
only
shit.
me."
I'd be like, "Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to Kurt
The
and
craziest
Goldie's."
the craziest story that he's ever told me, though, this is a true story. So Kate Hudson
Yeah.
hangs out with him at all times too, and she has a fiance,
Yeah,
and the
she does.
fiance is always there. But they're watching a movie one time. They have this big theater room, supposedly. They're watching a movie, and he's in there watching it too. And all of a sudden, Kate, with the fiance's in there, Kate's like, "Hey, will you rub my feet?" And so he was like, "Well, who am I to tell Kate Hudson that I'm not gonna rub her feet?" So he
Oh,
starts
this is
just
the
rubbing.
ranch hand?
Yeah, he just starts rubbing on her feet, and the fiance is over there, and, like, to me, that's like a
That's a
romantic
very
gesture.
sexual thing
Yeah,
to do. Yeah,
but
I wanna rub your feet.
not to them, I guess, because it didn't bother anybody, including him. He rubbed Kate Hudson's feet and moved on with his life.
Shawn, you could have a life story that includes rubbing Kate Hudson's feet, where
My
you could
wife
be
would
like,
not be okay with that. If I went there on New
"Yeah, but
Year's
I
Eve and
don't
I was
think
like,
you."
"Hey, honey, guess what we did tonight? We watched a movie and Kate Hudson asked me to rub her feet." So I did it because I didn't want to tell Kate Hudson no. She would be like, "Get out of my house." And I don't blame her for that.
Really? I think if Ryan came back, I guess it's different with a dude. But if Ryan came back and he was like, "I was at their ranch in Aspen and Kate Hudson said, 'Your feet look tired. Let me rub them.'" I would be like, "Holy shit, that's amazing."
No, you
Like,
wouldn't.
yes,
You
I
would
would. I
Here's what else you
swear
would
I
do.
would.
You would say, "Holy shit, that's amazing." Did the feet rubbing lead to anything else? Did you make out with her too?
Yeah, but I would.
Did she
Yeah,
rub
but I
anything
would.
else?
Maybe, like, in a funny way, like, joking with him, like, "How far up the leg she go?" You know what I mean? And I don't get, like, upset about that kinda stuff. I would be
But what
like,
if
"Well,
it was a
shit, that
random
was a
chick?
once." Well, if it was a random chick, I'm gonna beat the shit out of her, but if it's Goldie Hawn or Kate Hudson, Imma be like, "Go, rub." I bet you guys got some special expensive oils to use. I'm jealous.
The stories that this guy tells me to, it's really cool. I should actually bring him on because he's a really cool, funny guy, and he would
Yeah.
probably come on and talk about these stories. But like they're so normal until they're not. They
Okay,
like
so how
every
are they not
Well,
normal?
like, he has to explain it better than I do because he's around them, but basically the way that he says it is, like, it's normal. You go to dinner and they give each other Christmas gifts, and it's a big old gift exchange, and everything's normal. It's just like a normal family's Christmas gathering, and then you open up, like, the stocking stuffer, and it's a $2 million ring or something. Like, it just catches you out of the blue. You forget in the moment that they're not normal
Okay.
people, and then all of a sudden, something super, like, celebrity happens, and he's like, "Oh, shit, these are some of the biggest movie stars in the world. I forgot."
As he quickly opens his stocking like, "Woohoo!"
I
Oh,
asked him, does he get gifts? Because he gets invited to their Christmas still. Now that he's not their ranch hand, he still gets invited. I'm like, do they get you gifts? And he's like, yeah. I forgot what he told me he got, but it wasn't, he doesn't
it
get the $2
wasn't, like,
million.
shockingly
No,
good.
it's
Okay,
good
but it was
stuff.
still probably good for the rest of
Yeah,
us in life. Like,
right.
I'd still be excited.
It's cool. I'm
That's
gonna work on
amazing.
bringing him on.
Okay. Yeah,
You know
so
who
I
else
don't
I want to
know.
bring on, by the way?
Who?
Thinking about all of this is our old boss, Mark Callahan, who sells like multi-million-dollar houses, and we should talk to him about like some of the
Being
people.
rich?
Well, not being rich, that's boring, but like the people that he encounters when he tries to sell. He sells like apartments, but these
Yeah,
apartments are
like
worth more than mansions.
yeah, they're these insane downtown apartments and yeah, they're like 1.2 million. And I see on his social media, he's always like winning awards. And I'm like, dude left radio and went and became a millionaire. Like,
Yeah, there's
good
hope.
on him.
There's hope for us.
Can I tell you the funniest story? Were you there when they had to let him go? And they had to let
Yeah,
him
you've
go for
already told this
budget
story
cuts.
on the
Oh, I
podcast.
did? Okay,
Yeah.
then forget
But
about it.
but for people, you can tell the nutshell version. They let him go, and what did he do instantly?
He we were the building was right by a BMW, and he walked his ass across, like, a double lane, kinda busy road, and he bought a BMW and was like, "Beep, beep," and
Yeah,
drove
within
away, and
like
I'm like,
30 seconds too.
"That's
It wasn't
insane."
like when you and I would be like, "We're gonna buy a BMW. We should test drive every one on the lot and make sure that our $100,000 is gonna go to good use." No, he went over there. He's like, "I want this one. Here's my check. Give me the car," and he drives off.
I know.
This guy's an
Not
interesting
like us
cat.
poor people where they have to be like, "We have to check your credit."
I don't. Yeah, they didn't even like. We know your credit's good, bro. Don't even worry about pulling it up. I don't even need
Yeah,
your
that guy
social
was
security
just
number.
that guy was too fancy for the world of
I don't know that
radio.
he would come on this podcast. I don't know that he would.
Okay, well, that's fine. It's
We can
fine
ask
because
him.
Oh, hey, do you know who I'm lighting up right now? And this was something that I was gonna talk to you off the air, but I'm gonna just talk to you now. Um, is Jordan is the name of the woman who works in a morgue, and,
What's the
she
difference between a morgue and a funeral home?
a morgue is where they take bodies, like, who have
Oh,
just
they
died,
just store
and
them.
they keep them in the refrigerators, and
Yeah.
they wheel them out. Isn't it weird to think like, I don't wanna be a downer, I'm sorry, but isn't it weird to think that one day we will all take that cold steel ride where they pull it out, and they'll look at your toe tag, and they'll be like,
Yeah, that is kinda weird to think about. I mean, you could be one of the lucky ones that just gets found as a pile of bones somewhere in the wilderness or something, and you never
"One
have
to
to go to the
know."
morgue. You never go to the morgue, though. You just get to skip over it. Instead, you become a snack for a bear.
I would actually prefer that more. You know, in order to cremate well, I'm not gonna give you all the deets because we've got a special
Yeah, I
professional
want her to
that
give us
can
these
do it.
details.
Yeah, not
There
me.
was
Most of my facts, I later listen and I'm like, "That's not right."
Imagine that. There was
Yeah,
the reason I even thought of this, though, there was a story the other day in Colorado. There's a golf course, a pretty popular golf course, right? And
okay.
there's a lot of people, there's a lot of foot traffic on this golf course, and they found a pile of bones that they think are like from 2 years ago or so, not buried or anything, like just sitting there on the side of the golf course. And I'm wondering to myself, because it's never addressed in any of the stories, like how did somebody not see this body before it became just bones? How did they not
Well,
smell
wait a
this?
second.
Like,
Here's what my guess would be. Again, like your animal theory, maybe the animal has just sucked that bone all the way,
that could
all the
be.
flavors off, and so it just dropped it somewhere, and it happened to be at a golf course. But I think that'd be a
No, it's
cool
all
way
the
to go.
bones. It ate it right there.
Oh, it might have ate it right
Yeah,
there.
it didn't
Okay.
bring it didn't take every bone and be like, "Huh, I wonder if the humans are gonna think that I did something bad, so I'm gonna move all of the bones over to this golf course." No, it
No,
ate
I'm
them.
just saying maybe at night when it was roaming, it had some bones and it was
All
like
the bones, though. Then it had to have moved all the bones.
and laid it exactly like a skeleton.
Yes. That's a very impressive raccoon.
Well, that's a terrible story.
Yeah,
That's
I wasn't planning on bringing that story up, but that's just it made me think of that. It just makes you wonder, like, how did somebody not see it? Or I don't know. I've played on that golf course. What if I just like stepped over that dude and thought he was just taking a nap?
has that ever happened to you on a golf course?
No, now I'm gonna get indicted. No, it has not.
Oh my gosh. I have a list, Shawn, that I'd like to go through with. Actually, no, you have a list. Let's do your
I
list
don't have a
because
list.
I thought you said you had the list about the toilet
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah, no, it's not a list. It's just a poll. Here's what it says.
Okay,
It
what do you got?
says, someone conducted a poll asking men if they'd take a penny they saw in a urinal. 490 people weighed in. 428 of them said no, they would not take the penny out of the
Well, I
urinal.
would hope so. Yeah.
62 people said yes. That's 13%. A penny.
That, you know what that is reminds me of? Again with the TV. There's a show called Extreme Cheapskate or something. It's where people like go insane about conservation, which I think is great, but this is like they reuse toilet paper. I watched an episode where this, and she was very granola, but she's like, we don't use the bathroom. When I have friends come over, she had dug a hole in the yard. No, there was like a little shovel, and there was a sign that said, "Please bury your your shit when you're done." And so she's like, and so I've had friends come out, and then they use this bucket of rags, and then I wash them. I'm like, I would not be your friend. If I said I got to go to the bathroom and you said make sure you cover the hole, I would be like, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Or
Uh,
I'll go to the nearest Walmart. But that's what that makes me think of, like, a penny and you're dipping your hand in.
yeah, but these are the people you're talking about are extremists too. Like there's two of them in
Yeah,
the
but
entire
1
world that act
penny.
like that. This is 400 random people that they asked, and 13% of them said, "Yeah, I'll take the penny out."
But
Here's the
wouldn't you
thing. I wouldn't take a penny. I would take I think my limit would be a $5 bill. I think if there was a $5 bill in the urinal and 15 dudes have already pissed on it and it's pee soaked, I would take it out. And here's why, like, just
you
being
just
real.
really quickly use it in the vending machine?
No, it wouldn't take it. You'd have to wash it off and dry it, which I would go to the lengths to do. I I'm not that grossed out for some reason, and this is gonna sound gross to some folks, but I'm not that grossed out by piss. Like, I can get by it. It's fine. Like, it's pee soaked. I wash it. It washes right off your hands. It's not that big of a deal. I can
I did
deal with
not know
pee.
this about you.
I can deal with it. I don't
I
want
guess
to, but I can. And
I
so,
give like
yeah.
$5 your limit. Maybe this is gonna make me sound like a bougie bitch, but 20 would be, and even at 20, I would be trying to figure out how to use tongs. What can I use in here that would be tongs? Or I'd go home and get some tongs for
Then
20 bucks.
by then there would be a scavenger like me that would already have had it. You're too late.
And I'd walk
You
in
have
with
to
my
act
rubber
quick.
gloves and
Yeah.
tongs.
You
And
have
I'd
to
be
act
like,
really quick. This is the McDonald's bathroom where there's nothing. And if you don't take the 20 when you leave, the next
with
guy's
your
going to take
hand.
the 20. Yeah, you got nothing. I
Mm.
mean, you could try to get crafty and build a glove out of toilet paper or something, but it's going to get wet and
It's
it's
gonna
not
get
worth it.
soaked, Shawn. That's a
Yeah.
stupid idea. Sometimes in Walmart, they'll put, like, fake flowers in, like, in a fake vase. I could
In
use
the
those fake.
bathroom?
Yes, they do. I
Huh.
could just take one of those flowers because it's plastic and dig the 20 out and then use it to transport it to wash it, and then use it to transport it to pay for what I
Well,
want
yeah, that's
at
just it. If I
Walmart.
guess if you do it at Walmart, you can give the pea soak thing right to the cashier and she doesn't have to know. Like I would just probably say, because I can't in a situation, an awkward situation like that, I can't just bite my tongue and say nothing. I have to say something to justify it. So I would probably say something along the lines of sorry, it just had a trip through the washing machine.
Oh, yeah, but if it's soaking, there's a difference though, because if it's soaking in a toilet, if you put it in a washing machine, if you've ever washed like actual paper money in the washing machine, it becomes like this crumbled ball, and then you have to like uncrinkle it. And I don't think this chick would buy it. I think she'd be like, I saw that $5 earlier, you disgusting bastard. And now you're handing it to me.
She can't not take it. What is she gonna do? Be like, I'm not taking that?
I would love that. That would be an amazing fight to break out and someone film it.
That's how I would become the Karen, the dude Karen. I'd be like, well, then let me talk to your manager because I really want to buy what I want to
You
buy,
would
and this is my
never do that for $5, Shawn. That's max powers coming out, your
what am I
ultimate
gonna do?
ego.
Put it back in my pocket and walk away?
Well, that's what you were gonna do originally, because originally we weren't talking about being at a store.
That's true. I probably would just $5. I'm gonna get it out of the thing with my bare hands. I'm gonna wash it really good in the sink with soap and water, and I'm gonna wash my hands with soap and water, and I'm gonna take it home and I'm gonna put it out like on a clothespin on a thing
Yeah.
and dry it, and then tomorrow
Okay.
it's gonna be dry, and then I'm gonna use it to buy a Big Mac.
Oh, that sounds like a heck of a plan,
And
Shawn.
that's it. All
Are
right,
you
so
ready
I'm
for
done.
my
Yes, I'm ready for
list
your list.
now? Okay. So now that we know Shawn will put his hand in a piss-filled urinal for $5, we can move on.
Hold on, let me just say one more thing about that.
Yeah.
If it's in the toilet and there's poo-poo in the toilet too, I'm not even $100
Okay,
bill.
well then there's gotta be an amount.
Well,
I've never
they
even
don't
seen
make
a
bills
$1,000
they
bill,
don't
but
make
what if
bills bigger than hundreds, so 100 it is, and I'm not
are
doing
you
it.
serious? They don't make bills 100. Okay,
I
what
have
if
you
it
seen
was
one?
like I don't know, but that's probably because 'cause we're not rich. I
They
bet
don't
peop
have no, you people don't walk around with $1,000 bills, bro.
I hate that bro thing, and Murphy's starting to do it, and I'm like, I feel like such a mom, and I'm like, "Stop saying bro to everything." Okay, so my list, this is a list of things that people are saying that I am just too old to do. Like, what I'm just too old for that. And then so you've got things on this list like arguing with people, and they say that Keanu Reeves gave an interview about growing older. He said that he protects his peace by refusing to argue with anyone about anything. So he
I
just
don't buy
walks
that though.
completely away.
Older people are more apt to argue. I saw a guy arguing about a discount, a true story at McDonald's the other day. Like he was going to say 14 cents and he was arguing and arguing and arguing and arguing about it. And I was finally going to be just like, dude, here's a freaking dollar. Shut up because I'm hungry. Get out
And
of the way.
I you know what I had to do for this dollar? I had to put my hand in a toilet.
Sorry, it's wet. Here's the dollar. Shut
Here's
up.
one that I can completely relate to because I feel the exact same way. Concerts without assigned seating. She says, I'm
You
not
just
showing up hours early to be a good sport and then be stuck the entire time without being able to sit or use the bathroom. We talked about this a couple episodes ago, and we're both like, no.
well,
Go
I'm
ahead.
honored then because you came to my concert
I
2
did.
weeks ago. No assigned seat. It was just a GA show. It's just a bunch of standing, and you went,
I
and
went, I stood, I
you stayed
supported.
for about 1.5 songs. Thank you.
I stayed for longer than that. It was like 2. Number 3 on the list, hangovers.
Amen. I quit drinking. I don't
Amen.
think I've brought this up. I don't think I've told you this. I have not had an alcoholic beverage in now 3.5 months, 0. And,
You've
uh
told me that like 4 times.
oh, okay. Well, I'm proud of myself. Not that
I am proud of
I was
you.
never a drinker anyway, like it wasn't a thing, but I wanted to stop, and so I did, and it was because mostly that, like 2 beers and I had a hangover for 3 days and I'm like, it's not worth it. I don't even like Coors Lights. Why am I drinking 2 Coors Lights and feeling like shit for 3 days? So I quit. We're going to New Orleans next week though. Shannon and I are going to New Orleans, and
What are you
New
going to New
Orleans,
Orleans
like
for?
that's what you do in New Orleans. Like you go to Bourbon Street and you get hammered. And so it'll be a real test to see if I'm going to be a true non-alcoholic.
And that's hard because is it just you 2 going?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
it's for an event. And so there'll
okay.
be people we know.
So, but I'm just saying, like, that's one of those things where you go to the airport. That's what used to be so fun about being young and not getting hangovers. We'd go, and there used to be actually right by the old radio station, there used to be an airport, and
There
it
still is.
had yeah, but they don't fly anymore.
They
They
don't?
fly to like no, I think they fly to like weird well, listen, they used to fly to Las
Yeah.
Vegas and they quit flying to Las Vegas. That's the point. But what we would do is, pre-Murphy, I'd get off work on a Friday and we'd meet at the airport. And it was like a tiny little, it was a trailer. You'd walk
Mhm.
in. I think they had like a pretend thing that scanned your stuff so you didn't have a a mom, but I don't know. And then it was, it's like an hour and a half flight. So then we'd spend the weekend in Vegas and we'd come back on Sunday and we're 10 minutes from our house.
Right.
Sometimes I'd leave my car at work and he'd just pick me up and we'd go for the weekend.
What are you trying to get at
Um,
here?
so what I'm trying to get at is one of the funnest things that I remember doing in that time was we would get to the trailer airport and we would start drinking. And that was so fun. We'd drink on the plane, we'd have a drink before. It's so socially acceptable. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we're on vacation. We should be like, indulgent.
I like drinking those big things, those big yard things full of slushies that get you hammered in Vegas. And I used to tell them because you can pay an extra like $20 and they'll pour like half a thing of Everclear in there, and you have to plug your nose to drink it because it tastes like you're drinking kerosene. But I was on a mission to get hammered on the strip on those things, and I would.
And did
And
you?
yeah, I would get hung over for half a day, and the next day
The
I would eat a
worst.
cheeseburger, and I'd start drinking more of those yard slushies, and I would be good. Now, if I drank one of those things, I would be jacked for I would have to call you and be like, "I can't do this podcast because 'cause I'm so hungover."
And then I would have to put out a disclaimer to people who download it or watch it and say, well, Shawn got drunk and now he cannot come and do this. But
True.
that was
Yeah,
number
that's
3.
definitely number 1 for me. I don't
Okay.
even care what 2 and 1 are. That's number 1.
Okay. Number 4 is
Oh, you're going the wrong way.
well, I don't care. I like to
Oh.
go. First of all, I don't think this list is like, this is number 1. I think it's
Oh,
just
it's
like,
just
it's a
random.
list of what
Yeah.
people said.
Okay.
So number 4, I used to go to the bar on the weekends, play darts, and listen to bands. It was fun. Now it's just crowded with annoying people. This is I'm an old woman. Overpriced beer, loud music with a cover charge. I will still make an appearance for food, but it's more of a happy hour thing, and I don't like to go out anymore. Okay. Well, that one's a
I
little
don't like any of that anyway. I'm socially awkward, so I hate those happy hours and like there's 2 types of people. There's people that like to hang out at the bars and they like strive for meeting new people that come into the bar and they just have conversations with whoever randomly walks in. And then there's people like me who are like deathly afraid of that. And I will go into a bar by myself and I would get through half of a beer and I'd be like, this is awkward as shit. I'm out of here. I'm going home.
See, on the flip side of that, I've done that before where I'm one example is we took a trip and Ryan was checking us into our room and they had a bar, so I went and had a drink. It's different for a woman because people look at you like lonely loser. Like, oh, that woman was probably meeting someone and she's been sitting alone and so I think about that where I'm
Plus,
like, I'm just not comfortable.
dudes will buy you drinks, which could be a comfortable or uncomfortable situation for you, but you always have that opportunity if you're a chick. It's sitting in a bar. Is
See, and
there's a
that's
likelihood of a dude coming up and wanting to buy you a drink. That's not something that I have to think about. No one's going to
see,
do that.
and not our relationships are very different. I love your wife. She's amazing. I just saw her. But our relationships are very different where if Ryan came up and was like, "Have you had 3 mojitos?" And I'm like, "That dude over there keeps sending them over." Ryan would be like, "Nice." Like it wouldn't upset him.
Wait, are you trying to say it would upset me because it wouldn't upset
No,
me?
I
Or
think but I if you were at a bar and a girl came up and started buying you drinks, that would upset Shannon
yeah, she would hunt her down probably and be
and
like, "Hey,
murder her.
why are you buying my husband drinks?"
Yeah, see, we would be like, nice, we saved some money. Um, this is so true. Anything that starts past 9 p.m. That is so true, and I have to say, I am so impressed by you. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a compliment, because when I came to see your band a couple weeks ago, someone told me they don't go on till, like, 9, and that's very early, and I'm like, "Oh my god." I thought I'd show up, it'd start at 8 the latest, and you guys didn't even go on till way late. And like I said, somebody was telling me, "Oh, this is early." Sometimes we go on at 10:30. That's insanity, Shawn.
Plus, it's a 2-hour show, and then it's about we've got it down to a science, but there's packing up that's involved when you're done,
Yeah.
which is usually about an hour, and I don't like staying anywhere except for my bed, so if I'm within a 3-hour radius as far as drive home goes, I will drive home, So that show was one that it's 2-hour drive home, and so, I think that's a 9 o'clock show. We're home at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I go to bed at 8:30. That's what time I go to bed,
So
so,
how do you get past that?
the
Are
next day
there
I
ever
sleep.
like now listen, are there ever nights where you have a show and you're like, I just don't have the gas in my tank. This is just too much.
Well, luckily, like, I still feed off of the adrenaline of being on stage, so
And
once I get
dancing?
yeah, once I get on stage, I'm good to go, but, like, sometimes the moments leading up to it, I'm like, "I don't know how I'm gonna do this tonight, but I'm fine." The
Okay.
driving home, I this is not good, and I'm not proud of this, but there have been many times where I've driven home, and that show that you went to a couple of weeks ago was one of them where it's like the eyes are closing while I'm driving, and I should be pulling over, and I don't, and I should.
Yeah, you
That was
really
one where
should.
yeah, no, I know it's bad news. I got to the point where I stop and I get gummy bears because if you're chewing gummy bears, like, you have to consciously think about it because you gotta chomp
Oh,
on 'em
that's
pretty hard,
smart.
but I didn't for that one, and so I was fighting it.
Okay, so number 7 is something that I know I skipped one because the last one was like just a bitter ass woman, and she's like, putting up with BS. I'm 64 and I'm retired and I just filed for divorce. And I'm like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
But so that was 6. Number 7, lack of sleep. All-nighters were once manageable, but now if I pull an all-nighter, I'm useless. Can I tell you some honest truth? In my entire 41 years on this earth, I have never stayed up an entire night, ever. I can't do it. Even during the day, when you were kids and you'd have a sleepover and everyone would stay up and hang out, and I would just be in the corner just snoring. I couldn't do it. Have
Yeah,
you ever been an all-nighter? Like,
I
even
think
when you were young?
I've done it a couple of times, but I did not enjoy it, and I had to force myself through it, and then I'm one of these people I don't think it works this way. I've read from experts and, like, sleep doctors that you can't make up for bad sleep. Like, if you get bad sleep, you done screwed yourself. Whatever it does to you, it's not like your body banks you can bank it and you can catch up. You can be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I didn't sleep for the time that I needed to, so now I'll just sleep extra and it makes up for it." No, the damage is done, and so I don't like it, but I've done it.
Okay.
Alright.
This one's pretty relatable, I think, for both of us. But someone said new slang. New slang. If there's something new, I don't want to learn it. I don't want to know what that means. This person said someone said no cap, and I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know what that means.
35. I understand now, but it's beyond stupid. What does that mean? I still don't know what it means.
I don't know what it means either. That's one
No
that Clinton
cap.
has used. Wednesday nights, I host that youth group at the church, and it's 7th grade boys, and they, like, try to purposely use as much of that slang language that's cool as they can, and half of this time, I'm trying to figure out what they're even saying. It's like talking to Chinese kids. I don't know what they're saying. The one they were saying last night, because last night was group night, was Sigma. They kept saying Sigma about everything. I'm like, "I don't know what that is." And they won't tell you either. The more you ask them, like, "Hey, explain to me what that is," they won't.
Yeah, that's like a sign you're old. They don't want to
Mhm.
associate with that. How gross you even had to ask. This next one I totally experienced. Was it February? I don't remember when we went to Disney World. And because number 11 is waiting in line. This
I
woman
hate
said
that. I won't even go to a
roller
restaurant.
coaster. She says she's a roller coaster lover, but she's really beginning to question whether it's all worth it in the end. And I have to say that I agree. We just went to Disney World and we took our niece, Alyssa, and she just graduated from high school. And so she's old enough where she would take Murphy on the rides. And I'm old because there's nothing more enjoyable than knowing that your kid is getting on the ride and you don't have to wait for 2 hours for a ride that A will either make me feel sick or B, it's literally like in Disney, there were certain rides that it's like a 4-hour wait.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And then you get on the ride and it's like, doo 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 doo, boop, boop. Thank you. Get off the ride now. And you think, what the heck? That's so much time wasted. I'd much rather get an ice cream and just people watch for 4 hours. That's my favorite thing to do.
I won't even wait in line at restaurants, and it drives Shannon crazy because if there's a 15 to 20-minute wait to sit down at a restaurant, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way too, though.
Are
Number
we done? Oh, you're still going.
Well, wait, let me Sean's ready to go.
No, I have to pee.
Then I'm gonna end it with number 14, going places without a bathroom nearby.
I'm good with
So
that.
true. No,
I've
I get
talked to you
nervous.
about this. I'm the king of holding my pee, but it's bad for you, so I try not to. And when I have to go, I try to go.
You always have to pee at the end of these shows. Thank you for listening, and thank you for our friends at Talent Co Real Estate. If you're watching on the crawler, it's the home of the week. Go check it out, homeandnoco.com. It's pretty amazing. And
How
Amy
much?
is just, you get land. I mean, this house has like a
How
lot of
much?
really bomb features.
How much?
I think it's like 8 something. So that's not too bad for Colorado with acreage.
That's true.
That's really not
I've
bad.
always wanted to have chickens, goats,
You can have all of this with this house.
donkeys.
It's the home of the week. Find it at homeandnoco.com and give my friend, well, our friend Amy, a call with Talent Co Real Estate. Shawn has to pee so bad, so I've kind of
It's
been
not that
dragging this
bad.
ad. You messaged me in a private chat while we were working, and you said, "Wrap it up. I have to pee." And so that's what I'm doing. Thank you for
I just
listening.
felt like you might go. I don't know how long your list was, but you probably would have went on until the end of time.
Well, let me see how many are on here. No, we were almost
Oh,
done.
dang it. I'm sorry
Number
about it. No,
16.
no one cares what number 16 was. Have a good day.
You don't care because you have to pee.
Okay, bye.